Allia Zobel Nolan is an award-winning author of more than 150 books, and her books reflect her passions: God, cats, and writing for children, like in Cat Confessions and the 10 Commandments for Little Ones. Her latest encourages kids to trust in God's timing and slow down long enough to see the blessings that he puts into every single day. It's Harriet, Hurry Up, and the Oh So Slow Day. Allia, hello. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me and for introducing the world to Harriet.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. I see a lot of myself in her. From the sun taking too long to rise to gobbling up her food, Harriet hates to wait. And she actually even gets around on roller skates so she can be faster than everyone. Who is this character based on?
Well, if you must know, there's a lot of me in Harriet because I'm ADD and I hate to wait for anything. And I actually got the idea for it when I was on my way to the mailbox. I said, I'm waiting for something and the letter didn't come. And on the way back, I said, I really hate to wait. And I thought, if I hate to wait, you can imagine, because I write for kids' books and I'm always looking for ideas. I said, if I hate to wait, you can imagine how kids feel.
Absolutely. Okay, so then what can kids do when waiting makes them antsy?
Well, when waiting makes them antsy, there's plenty of things to do. The whole idea is to refocus your attention on something different, because God puts all sorts of wonderful little gifts into our day. But if we're thinking about tomorrow or this afternoon or a week from now, we're missing them. And this is what Harriet does. Harriet's grandma refocused her attention with a rescue dog that they had seen the month before. And the mother did not tell Harriet that Granny has the dog. But she saw that she was having a challenge waiting. And spoiler alert, it's because her birthday's the next day. So she's usually an antsy, but today she's off the charts. So the mom brings her over to Granny's house and she comes in the door and she's still fidgeting and, why do I have to go to Granny's? And then she sees the dog and she's so excited. She plays with the dog all afternoon and her antsiness is refocused. God answers her prayer because at the beginning of the day, she said, God, send me some patience, please. So he does, and it's the dog. So the whole idea is for parents and children to refocus your attention to what's going on in the day.
I mean, there's so much in there. First of all, praying for patience has never been something I've wanted to do because you just know that it's going to come in a really challenging way. But let's start there. What does God want to teach us through Habakkuk 2:3, which you put in the book, but also just how we should look at waiting? What is God trying to teach us there?
Well, I wrote down 5 things. When your child will say, Mommy, I want this right away. You get stuff from Amazon in half an hour. Why can't I get this? First of all, you'll have to tell your children you might not be ready. Maybe next week you'll be ready, but right now you're not ready. So God is interpreting that, and he knows everything. You don't. So that's another thing that we have to teach them. God has a plan. His timing is impeccable. So, you don't have to worry about whether you're going to get something at the right time because you are. But it also, the thing that you want might be harmful. So suppose a little girl wants a 2-wheeler and she can hardly go on her 3-wheeler. So you have to tell her it might be harmful. So that's why you're not getting it. It also teaches patience. And that's the most important thing. We have to exercise our patience muscle, okay? Just like in the gym, you don't get muscles right away. You have to exercise them. So we have to tell our children that God's in control. I went to a supermarket the other day and there was a woman and she's walking around with this T-shirt that says God's in control. And that's true. If we tell our children and inculcate that into them, God is in control and he knows the right time. The next thing is to learn to trust God. That's very important. He knows everything and we don't. The last is my favorite. It's God preparing something better for you. So God's behind the backdrop. And I have a picture in my office that I ripped out of a magazine, and it was about a little girl, and she has this bear, and she's holding it to Jesus and saying, I really want this bear. Meanwhile, Jesus has this ginormous bear in the back, and this is what he wants to give her. So he wants to give you something 9 times out of 10 that's better than you could imagine.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's so relatable for adults too, right? Like for me, mornings are so rushed, especially when the school year starts. And I don't think I'm at my best when I'm rushing either. But with the school year starting, I mean, parents, obviously, they can practically model maybe slowing down too. Do you want to give a word for this back to school year and what parents can keep in mind?
Well, here's the thing, and it just so happens to mesh really well. Reading, I know you can't read when you're trying to get the kids out, out of the door and get them ready for school. But I think it's very important during the day, be still and know that I am God, okay, to use a picture book. It just so happens that that's a really good vehicle. Yeah. And sit with your child and engage. Don't just read the book. Say, oh, is Harriet's dog on this page? What about Harriet's pocketbook? Does it look like a dog? Engage your child, because you're refocusing, suppose she has a play date like 3 hours from now, and she's all crazy about that. So if you spend time with them, know that they will know that you care about them. And a picture book is a really good way. It's not only entertainment. It has, you learn language skills, you learn observation skills, you learn diversity skills. And it's a good way for parents to have that little special time. No phones, no video games, just spend the time together with a book. And if it's my book, it will be very nice.
Your book will at least remind them of that lesson and that message of slowing down. But you're so right. Spend even bedtime. I mean, books is such a huge part of a bedtime routine. I have 2 young kids, and the temptation is, okay, we got to bed a little bit later tonight. Now we got to read fast. Pick a short book, pick a quick book. And it's like, no, like being in that moment, is definitely it's so important.
I feel it's the most important thing, because I came out of the womb saying, where's a book? I need books. I'm like, such a bibliophile. I just absolutely love books. And it's so important nowadays with all these mechanical things that are available to them, because it's engaging. You can engage the child. And it's just, to me, I love picture books. I love any book, but picture books, especially for little ones.
You probably came out of the womb loving animals too. So let's wrap up with this one, because you do have a dog in this book. And the dog actually does, like you already mentioned, plays an important role, because that's the moment where, through this very fast-paced written book, day to day, this is what's happening for Harriet. She says, I don't want this moment to end. Like with this dog, right? Exactly. So obviously that's how we feel with dogs too, and pets. And you've got a cat for anyone watching the video right behind you. Just wrap up. Tell us a little bit about let's get to know Allia a little bit. Tell us about your love for animals.
Well, it's a very funny story. My mother did not like cats. She thought they were sneaky. And
I mean, they are.
she was a dog lover. So when I was in high school, a friend of mine knew that I loved cats, and she gave me this little white ball of fluff for Christmas. And, she put it in a box with air holes, of course, and everything, opened it up. And my mother was like, well, we'll have to take that to the rescue place tomorrow, and I'm like, no. Well, I was going to school. The baby cat was with my mother, and she went over here on her shoulder, and she followed her around the garden. And, my mother was like, go away from me. And then finally she softened up, and she was crazy about this cat. Okay. So from then on, it was cats, although, just a couple of years ago, we adopted a rescue dog, because my husband's from Ireland and he loves dogs. He's always had a dog. But because I write for, about cats we never had. And I wasn't that crazy about dogs because you see how calmly she's sitting here on top of my chair, so I don't have to worry about them getting into anything or whatever. So to make a long story short, I saw this rescue dog and she had just come up from North Carolina and I fell in love. The eyes, was like, oh my gosh, I have to have this dog. So, my husband, we brought the dog home and my husband kept going, here, kitty, to the dog. So what did we name the dog? Miss Kitty.
Amazing. And is this the dog depicted in the book?
No, this is not the dog.
No, okay.
In the book, but yeah, I always put cats in the book. But you'll notice at Granny's house, there is a cat and the side of the chair is all scraped because, that's what cats do. These cats are very good, though. They have their scratching post and they don't do anything to the furniture, which is wonderful.
That's good. That's a plus.
Normally they do.
They're known. They're known for that a little bit. Yeah.
If you have a house and you have children or animals, you can't have a Miss Perfect house.
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, you would know that. So.
So fun.
So I really love God's animals. Anything. If I could have a farm, I would have frogs and goats and everything. But so we have 2 cats and a dog. So.
Yeah, that's fun. And then you put them in your books. And this one is such an entertaining, but also very important reminder for kids to take it easy and slow down a little bit and just be in the moment, like you've said. So really appreciate it. Again, the book is called Harriet, Hurry Up and the Oh So Slow Day. Allia Zobel Nolan, thank you for taking some time. It's been fun to chat.
Thank you.